Evening. It's Thursday night. It's not Wednesday night, but it is 8 o'clock, and it is time for the pastor's chat. So, Father Rob here, Annunciation of the Lord Parish. It's just a little unusual. Usually I come on Wednesday nights, but I gotta be honest, it's been a bit of a rough week for me personally. I just came down with some kind of a bug or a sickness. I've tested 3 times. It's come negative. I don't know if that means anything or not these days, but certainly not feeling very good. Some kind of a flu and down for a couple days, but on the better side of that now. So I did think I'd come on tonight and just spend a little time with you and some chat, because there's some kind of breaking news. So I don't know if this is, we've been kind of dripping this for a while. So as you know, we've been talking about the next big event here in the parish, and it's Pentecost Sunday. So we have our confirmation, and it's the end of the Easter season. So we've kind of been building towards that. But also, we're going to have the first Mass on Sunday at 10. And that's Joshua Gramaison, who'll be Father Joshua at that point. He's getting ordained on Saturday morning. And this is big news, right? Josh was here for his internship with us, and then he spent 2 years back in seminary. He was able to be ordained here, a deacon, which is kind of cool. You don't always get an ordination in your parish. And now he'll be ordained at Notre Dame, and you're welcome to come to that still. I know people maybe haven't quite got the news. We had 3 other priests were ordained Tuesday night at Notre Dame, but this will be coming up Saturday morning, I think at 9 o'clock. So we have to be down there a bit early, but that's the plan. But there's a bit more with that story. We weren't able to really talk about it too much because the diocese is part of their moves and assignments. But Joshua will be staying. He's going to stay in our parish. So we get to keep him. So he'll be ordained on Saturday. He'll say his first Mass here Sunday. And de facto, really from then on, he's going to be assigned to us. Now, I think he officially starts in August. But if you guys remember, Josh has a very good work ethic. So I think he just wants to get going. So we're going to give him a little time off. We're going to promise, we'll give him we'll have to work all that in. Father John's heading off to Germany, that next week. And so it's just, in their short term, it was just kind of nice to have an extra priest around. And so, and Father Dennis is back too. He's, as we know, he's moving to St. John, New Brunswick. And but he's back, just kind of getting his last of his things ready, and that's going to happen a little later in the month. So it's all kind of coming together. That's the plan, Ace. I don't know how many of you figured that out. We did drop a few hints, and we leaked it a little bit, just because from our end it was a done deal about maybe about not quite a month ago. But you want to let everybody else kind of talk about it, and there's other people obviously that are affected by this. So. That makes a difference too. So there it is. So soon to be Father Joshua Gramaison will be along with Father John. Father John stays as well. It's just that my new role with the diocese is going to take me out of the parish. At least it's not at first, maybe not as much, but I think over time that may be a bit more. And so having Josh here will kind of balance that. So as Father Josh will take on more learning and just kind of figure out what it is to be a priest and all that stuff. And then on the backside of that, should free me up a little bit more time to work with the bishop and a little bit of what he wants to do for the larger diocese, which is kind of nice. And then, of course, the other piece of that puzzle is David Bergeron, Father David Bergeron, who's the rector at the cathedral now. He's a Companion of the Cross, but he's working kind of on his own, but he's going to be working with another priest as well from the diocese, but he's going to be living here with us at Annunciation. So there'll be 4 of us, 4 priests. I don't know, there's not many. I don't know how many rectories have 4 priests, especially under the age. I won't put out a number there; it's not fair. But it's going to be a pretty lively household, I think. Since we have younger guys, and Josh, of course, brand new, and David brings a certain flair as well, and there's certainly a couple of kayaks I think will be on site here pretty soon. So it's all good news, I think, all good news. So there it is. I know it's not a lot. There's only a few people online here tonight. You're welcome to jump in with a couple questions or something. And so, Lindsay, thank you. Yeah, I am feeling a little better. This morning was considerably better than I have been the day before. It takes a little while to recover from this, so I still don't know what it was. I don't know. I'm just hoping tomorrow will be stronger. I'm not coughing or hacking or anything, but it's still a bit of a thing. Now, after that news, it's hard to go to anything as mundane as doors. But if you came by to vote today, you may have noticed that the work on the door has begun. So kind of the main doors, even though they're the back doors, it's a strange building. But the ones most people come in, from the park side, you kind of drive around the church, and there's the doors to the hall, and there's the doors that most people come in by the Japanese lilac, I think, which is out there, a nice tree. They're being replaced. You see, what we had to do was we wanted to make them accessible so that they open automatically when you come to them. The problem with that is that the original doors are quite heavy, and you have to engineer something to open them. Now, I'm sure it can be done, but then it's an original piece. What we went to is you have to custom make these things, but it's the same setup as you would have at most almost most buildings. Most public buildings have those doors. You walk up, they just open, they close, and then there's another set like that. So that's being put in now. So this is, and again, the nice thing about this is we got it as a part of a grant. So we essentially, the doors they're pricey, but it won't actually cost the parish any money at all. It shouldn't be. It's all under budget. So that's good. So to Luann and her crew, I think, thank you very much. That was well done. So it's kind of neat. Now, here's how it all plays, So unfortunately, this is when we could get them. It's not as tidy as it might have, but this weekend it's okay. I don't think anyone's going to worry about the doors. It's just so cool to have, again, it's just exciting to see this, like this thing continuing. So it's a sign of hope. So there's where we're at. So setting up a prayer for, Elizabeth. She came home from school fighting a bug too. Well, I might have an idea what kind of bug that is. So we'll have to see. But hopefully it's nothing too severe. So this thing is a bit harsh. We'll compare notes maybe later to see if it's the same thing. I got a feeling it's going to run through the community. So I think it's an interesting thing. I thought of this the other day. I think I was a little shocked when I got sick, because with all that, we've been worrying about getting sick and wearing masks and socially distancing and washing my hands. And I've so absorbed so much sanitizer. I think it's the gallons of that stuff. But because of that, I just haven't had a cold in a long time. I had sniffles or something, but I can't remember the last time I had to take time. I got run down a few times. Of course, I had some heart stuff I had to do and some medication issues, but we'll see. We'll see. But to get sick, this flu is a strong one, and it took me by surprise. So thankfully, it doesn't seem to last very long, but it's pretty intense. So there it is. So we will say Free. I don't know if we want to use her name online, but I'll certainly say a little prayer for her, because I hope I didn't give it to anybody else, because it's one of those ones you just don't want to pass this one along. So there it is. Last chance for questions, because I'm tired. I just wanted to come on, though. It was such good news. I want you to hear from us. Just a little bit frustrating sometimes, because the diocese wants to make their decisions, and companions are kind of to get their communication, and we're kind of about third or fourth on the food chain, but we got the guy, right? So Joshua's been moving his stuff in and setting up, and it's an exciting time. So say a little prayer for Deacon Josh Gramaison, soon to be Father Josh Gramaison, who's your new associate pastor, and he'll be here for years to come, and get to know him. You already know him a bit, but to get to know him even better, I think, because of course he'll be in the regular preaching cycle now, and we'll try to get him to do a witness talk before too long. Like when Father John and myself, we both, if you remember when they first got here, that first homily was, it's always nice to tell something about yourself, that once you get to know us, then when we preach and stuff, it makes more sense. So I think it's always good to know a little bit of Joshua's backstory and what's all about. Mary Delazon, that's very nice. Thank you. Yes, prayers and thank you for Josh. Thanks, Mary, for joining in. It's always warms my heart to see your name pop up there. So it's all good. So there we go. So Mary, another one of you boys made it. So good on you. So it's all good news. So with that, the pastor's going to have a cup of tea and probably have an early night of it. But may the good Lord continue to watch over, guide, and protect you. May the saints and angels intercede for you. Blessed Mother, wrap you in the mantle of her peace. May Almighty God bless you and keep you. May, and our soon-to-be new pastor, new associate pastor, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Take care now. All the best. God bless. Good night.